Hi students, in this video I'm going to show you some tips for using your calculator regarding linear regression and correlation, which we see in sections 2.4, 10.1, and 10.2. First things first, you need to take out your guided notes and your graphing calculator. The guided notes are posted on Blackboard. Here I have them. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll to page 3 of the guided notes, and at the bottom of page 3 you're going to see some calculator tips and information. That calculator information is also listed on page 3 of the calculator packet that you received in week 1 of the course. So the important thing that we need to do here is before starting chapter 10, it says turn diagnostics on. So I'm going to get my calculator out. And to turn the diagnostics on, you're going to press the second button, which is near the top on the left-hand side. It's in blue on my calculator. And then you're going to press 0. And what that gets you to is, you can see here, the catalog. You're going to scroll down on the catalog until you get to diagnostics on. You could do alpha D to get close to it, but I just like to scroll down until I see diagnostics off, and now diagnostics on. And I'm going to press enter on diagnostics on and then press enter again. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it so when you do linear regression and you get a regression line, it's also going to show you R, your correlation coefficient. Now I can show you what that does. I'm going to press stat and go to edit, and this is where I'd entered numbers into a list. You can see here I already have a list 1 and a list 3. Let's make that a list 2. 6, 9, 3, 3. So list 1 would be like my X values, list 2 would be my Y values, and together we have ordered pairs. 7, 6, 5, 9 is an ordered pair, 3, 3 is an ordered pair, and 6, 3 is an ordered pair. We can use these ordered pairs to find the equation of the line of best fit, or the regression line, and we can also find the correlation coefficient R. And for some of you, that wasn't showing up before because you didn't have your diagnostics on. So let's see how to do it. We can follow the directions on the left here. We're going to press stat and then go over to calc. And we're going to go down to 8, which is lin reg equation. Now, we can press 8 or scroll down and press enter. I have my X values in list 1, my Y values in list 2. You could be using 2 other lists, and that's okay. We're not using frequencies, so you don't have to put anything in there. I'm going to try storing my equation just to show you how to do it in here. So to store an equation, you go over and press vars, and then over to Y vars and function. And I'm going to store my equation in Y1. So I press a 1 there. And then you can go ahead and calculate. Some of you won't have a menu like this. What you'll do if you don't have a menu on your calculator, that's fine. Lin reg will show up on your screen, and you'll do second 1 for L1. Here, I'll show you. Second 1 to type L1. And then you'll put a comma, which is right above the number 7. Second 2 for L2, and then a comma, and then follow the directions to get Y1 also. And you'll press enter to calculate. So what we have here is our linear regression equation. Y equals AX plus B. So we have Y equals 3 plus 0.429X. And then we have our correlation coefficient, R, at the bottom here is 0.255 if we're rounding to 3 decimal places. So once again, the point of this video, though, was we wanted to show how to get this correlation coefficient to show up on our screen. You have to have your diagnostics on. Now, when I typed in the data and I went to get the linear regression equation, I said I was going to store my function in Y1. If you go on your calculator screen to Y equals, you'll see I have an equation here in Y1. That's all the information I have on my screen. And the reason we have that is so we can graph it. So when I press graph here, I see a line. I don't see the points that I put in though, so that's a problem. So what I can do is I can first make sure I press second and Y equals to have my stat plots on. I can see all my stat plots are off. So I'm going to press into the first one and press enter to turn it on and make sure that I have the plot highlight it. And I do. Now press graph again. Oh, I have all of my data here. Now, sometimes you'll have data that doesn't show up in your window. If you have a poor window, what you can do is you can press zoom and then scroll down to 9 or press the number 9, zoom stat. What that's going to do is it's going to create a great window for you based on the data that you have. And you can see I have a better window here for my data. It fits all 4 points. It's nice and close. You can manually change your window too by going to window and typing in the numbers that you think are appropriate for here. We have our X minimum, X maximum. I could change that. I could go from 0 to 10 because all my X values were between 0 and 10. Your X scale, which is how much it goes up by on the sides. Your Y minimum, I'm going to go from 0 to 10 because I know all the numbers I put in were between 0 and 10. And my Y scale, you don't have to worry about that, the XRES and the change in X on here. And we can press graph, and that'll change my window a little bit more. All right, so we've gone over the basics of plotting points on your graph and creating a line of best fit and finding correlation R. We want to make sure whenever we're doing linear regression problems on our calculator, we have diagnostics on first. I hope you found this helpful. Reach out if you have any questions.